Good morning. It's morning, so making breakfast and don't have any makeup on or anything, so forgive that. But anyway, I thought I would introduce myself a little bit. I will make a bigger video of introduction when I get a tripod. I have type 1 diabetes and some problems with holding my hands very still doing this without a tripod, so that's why I'm not doing this too often till that comes. But anyway, I want to tell you a little bit of my story. About almost 20 years ago, I went to the doctor and I was at an all-time high. I am like really super short. I'm probably, well, I am really in the dwarf range of height. I'm 4'8". So when I was over 250 pounds, that was humongous for me. And the doctor really had a serious talk with me and said, you know, at this rate, with being a type 1 diabetic and being on the amount of insulin you are to keep the diabetes under control, which for type 1s there is no option but to be on insulin. You have to be on insulin as a type 1 diabetic because your body just does not produce insulin at all. And I've been a diabetic, type 1 diabetic since I was 6 years old. So, well, at least that's when I was diagnosed. It could have been before that, but that's when I started having problems. So my mom took me to the doctor and I had type 1 diabetes. So anyway, so about that time, about 20 years ago, it was around 2002 or so. So not quite 20, but getting in there. I was at the doctor and I was over 250 pounds. I was like 252 pounds. And he said that on that track I was going on, I would be 400 or 500 pounds in a couple of years if I didn't rein stuff in and figure it out. So I went home and I didn't really know what I was going to do, but I knew I had to change things. And I remembered I really had liked Richard Simmons in the past as a teenager. And I decided I was going to dig that out. And I did. And it was inexpensive. I could afford it at the time. So I started doing that. And eventually I also added in another woman named Joanna Lund. She did a plan called Healthy Exchanges. I still did Richard Simmons, but I added in her Healthy Exchanges recipes and kind of encouragement and stuff too. We became pretty good friends, her and I. And anyway, I ended up losing 100 pounds. And then I had, I got pregnant with our first child, and I was 30 years old. And I actually did not gain any weight during her pregnancy. I actually lost 10 pounds. But, and I kept it off. I was fine. And then she was about 3 years old, and I got pregnant again. And it was a really huge surprise of twins. But very early on, we lost the first twin, and then much later on, we had a stillbirth of the second twin. And after that, sorry, I'm going to turn off my daily omelet. And after that, I just stopped caring about my health in general, about the weight loss anymore. And keep in mind, I had kept it off for like almost 10 years by that time. And so I gained a lot of weight back. But last year I was like, that was enough. That was enough. I didn't want to be that anymore. And so I started working on losing it again, and I got pregnant again. And in my 40s. And I didn't gain any weight for that pregnancy. Again, I lost weight. And so I've lost gradually back down to an 80-pound loss. But I want to get back down to that 100-pound loss. And I'm still not like super skinny at 100-pound loss. I'm still chubby, but it's within reason. It's not crazy out of control. And so I'm working on that. And this time, though, I have joined Weight Watchers. And back when I first lost that first 100 pounds, it was all about fiber. Everything I did was about fiber. This time I'm adding in the protein like Weight Watchers suggest. I'm actually a lot fuller, but it's learning a whole new thing too. So you're going to be seeing lots of protein stuff that I never ate during my original 100-pound loss. But I'm trying this time and I like it. And my weight loss, I will warn you, is super slow. I have right now about 20 pounds I want to lose to get back to my 100-pound weight loss. And it's going to be a slow ride with me for that, because I only lose like a half a pound every 2 or 3 weeks, so if that. Because again, type 1 diabetes and losing weight doesn't really go hand in hand too well. But it's what it is. It is what it is. So anyway, about to share my breakfast with you now. Just thought I'd give you a little bitty bit of background, and then when I get my tripod, I will add some more. Okay, breakfast again this morning. My regular coffee with a vanilla protein shake this morning, about a third of it. And then I add a little bit of this Toroni, or Torani, I don't know how to say it, sugar-free syrup. I have all different flavors, but this one's really good. I match the flavor to the protein shake I'm doing. Like if I do the caramel protein shake, then I might use the salted caramel syrup, but this time it's vanilla, so I went with the brown sugar cinnamon. And then I'm really rather new to these Kodiak cakes. The serving I made today was 5 points, but because this is only like probably the 3rd or 4th time I've made it in like a year, I'm gonna adjust that. I may go down on how much I eat of that. And then the not so pretty omelet this morning, and that is like a huge stack of the Kodiak cakes for 5 points, but I think I could have like probably 3/4 of that or half of that and be very happy. And then that is just some sugar-free Cary syrup, which I'll talk about syrups probably a little bit more on another video, but I have other syrups that I like better that are sugar-free than Cary's, but Cary's is most widely available, and that was what was around when I went to the store this time. But I have on order some other syrup. And that's it for breakfast this morning. I'm about to head out, and this is what I'm taking for my snack today. It is the fat-free Greek yogurt with a little bit of cheesecake, sugar-free, no-fat, Jello pudding powder, a little bit of fat-free cream cheese, and a little bit of whipped topping, and then I added some blueberries. And I also add some water because it gets pretty thick after all that. And then just some no sugar added Jerkins little pickles. And I don't know what we're eating for lunch. And dinner for tonight is a couple pieces of grilled chicken breast and some riced cauliflower. And don't worry about the baby screaming in the background. And my evening snack of Halo Top ice cream, caramel macchiato. I'm going to have 1 cup or half the container for 6 points.